Hey,
Welcome in,
everybody.
everyone.
Hello, everybody. Before we start tonight, we need to make a very special reminder.
In case anyone forgot. Welcome
Just in
in, Chris.
case. I know with Purple being quiet the last few days, that people might need a reminder that Chris is the devil, and you should be careful.
Watch her pointy little tail.
Also, talking about people who aren't the devil, we're missing a certain Ewok at the moment. We is unfortunately in hospital. It's a situation that's under control and it can be sorted out. It's not anything that people should worry about too much, other than she's not very well at the moment. So if you're of the praying persuasion, please remember we in your prayers. If you're the positive thoughts persuasion, then send out your positive thoughts. If we can have some crab claws in the chat, all the cliches. But when you get a chance to listen to this, I'm so glad that you're actually in hospital and getting treatment, and I look forward to seeing you back again soon. And of course, I have to add, we've got this very cute Christmas picture of Wei, but we also have the infamous Ewok film, Ulster Ewok, which rather like American Beauty, where the stunning naked blonde was covered in rose petals. In Ulster Ewok, the furry little Ewok is covered in little bottles of Lucozade.
Of course she is.
She's naked under there. She's only wearing Lucozade, and that's
right.
it.
Strategically
That's so
placed
weak.
bottles of Lucozade. No wonder she's worried about a shortage.
Maybe I should be running her OnlyFans.
Yes. So how is everybody? How are you, darlings?
I'd like to welcome J-Dub to membership. Thank you, J-Dub.
Yeah, we had a few other people that were celebrating their anniversaries. Thank you, Widow. Thank you, TPE, for 3 months. Thank you, J-Dub, for 3 months. It's so good to have you guys here with us. You know, we really enjoy our subs. We have so much fun with you guys, especially our members.
Yes, it would be nice. Actually, we've got a decent number of us here tonight. All of us, one after another, have had some sort of illness, and Soup was just starting to feel better, and then her youngest fell ill today. And so there was a sort of emergency sort of youngest is throwing up, so it looks like I'm not going to make it, girls, and we totally understand that. We really hope that she's feeling better soon, darling.
Hey, 6 Up, check your messages in Discord, right, TJ? TJ?
You realize 6 Up is up here, right?
Oh, is she? Oh my gosh. I wasn't looking at the screen. I'm sorry. I walked away for a second.
6,
You
I've
can't
got a
see
message.
me, but I'm here.
Welcome, 6.
Thank you, darling.
Hey, guys. I love it.
Oh, I was just trying to make 6's picture bigger, and I just clicked the wrong thing.
I'll help you.
There we go. Sixmas. If you're looking for Sixmas presents, 6 has a great merch shop with some great merch in it. So make sure you check that out. That was all.
Not to be mixed up with Griffmas.
No, not to be mixed up with Griftmas, although I think that Griftmas is so out there this year.
It starts earlier and earlier every year, that
Every year.
Griftmas.
Oh, TJ is having a sound issue.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Archangel. It's been with us for 2 months. Love the jerks, we and Grismo. You know, I want to say a thanks to Jenna for playing along with that and running Grismo's wish list. It's for a great cause. It's been nice how everybody's kind of let us roll with that.
Yeah, fair dues, fair dues. She took it in good sport, and it was refreshing. It's good that we can put aside a little bit of the beef in order to benefit people who are homeless and their pets who are also homeless and sometimes are in, I can't think of the word. Yeah,
Shelter?
shelters, thank you. Sometimes in shelters waiting to be reunited, and this charity does excellent work. I really encourage you to read up about them and have a look at the list.
You'll see our mods dropping the link for Grismo's wish list.
I am getting a warning up on StreamYard that my connection is unstable. I'm going to go out and come right back in, okay?
That's what
Okay,
I
cool.
had to do. I couldn't hear y'all.
I'm
Mine does
fighting
that every once in a while.
the same issues. My sound drops out. That's why I'll have to unplug mic, use iPad mic. Then from iPad mic, it will go out, and I'll have to just keep going back and forth. This is the third live in a row. It's been like this. It's driving me crazy.
We are 8 minutes in, and why the fuck is Kim in my chat? I had such a busy day today. I haven't really been around a whole lot lately. Sorry, guys. We love you, Kim.
Okay, that seems to have got rid of the message, so that's good. Well, are we going to start on the whole Betty of it all?
Oh, I did want to wish, some healing thoughts and crab claws for the pigeon. She's got bird flu. She hasn't
Yes.
been entertaining us, and we have been going through withdrawals. I gotta say, I can't stop watching the shit show.
I want
Yes.
to send her some Cheez-Its.
I just think that oh, hang on, I need to find it. I like to think of the chance of happier days closer to Christmas. Jenna and Perp getting ready for a lovely Christmas Eve together.
Oh, that's
Beautiful,
sweet, Pearl.
Pearl. It's so beautiful.
So cute.
It's a beautiful moment.
Yes,
Should
so
we give them
apparently-
one more reminder about Chris and then get into it?
Yes,
Have you put the link in for 6up for that you want shared?
I have, yes. It's in the back chat. But a final reminder before we start dealing with tragedy pimps.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, better her than me, I guess. Right?
Right? Thank you, Canadian Girl, member for 2 months.
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready, I did share it, and then you can just let me know when to press play and pause, and I'm ready to go. Do you want to play it at regular speed, guys, or speed it up just a little bit?
I think so. It's actually from a channel. Let me grab the channel link because obviously I want to. Right, it's Clipper 2 is the channel. And I'll post the link in the chat now. The first section, because she goes into a whole section about SF investigators, which I am not interested in talking about. It's not material to the JLRB Bullhorn Betty of it all. So we're going to run it from the start and to 3 minutes, and then there's a gap. So if we do that 3-minute thing first, but she's a bit all over the place. I wish she would start in one place and be consistent, but we'll go with what we've got. I'm sorry if this makes your ears hurt. There's nothing we can do about her voice.
Put your Ziggy headphones on.
A morning. We told you. We told you when we started going after and talking about how JLR is dating Magnolia, that we were going after the biggest troll. And I couldn't understand why he's not claiming her. Why they're around. They're obviously, you know, staying together when they go out in these fields. They're staying in the same room. I'm not going to allege anything what they may or may not be doing. But when I was out at the front row Trump rally, she was rubbing his back. And when I asked him for a pin, he went inside her purse when she was not standing there. So I don't know what that says to everybody else here on the streets of YouTube. But to me, that implies a little more of a personal relationship. I never knew that he was going to take an opportunity to try to take my channel down by the use of SF Investigates and the war I'm having with him. I truly don't believe this is SF Investigates. And here's why. Because I've been posting these things on Twitter, and why they may be flagged or whatever, they're not coming down on Twitter, and that's his channel. So, Steve, you're wrong. You're not a Florida PI, or Florida PI, a Tennessee PI. Oh, and that brings me to my next thing. We'll get on to Steve because we got a lot to talk about with JLR. He is not going to intimidate me. He is not going to pressure me behind the scenes, and he is not going to shut my mouth. Let me tell you that right now. And I know he's watching. He pushed me way over the edge. Nobody's going to shut her mouth. And now your secrets are not mine to keep, buddy. You don't come in after me and take my channel. And I know it was you because this is the same strategy you used against Burnt Toast. And I know that because you told me. Again, your secrets are not mine to keep. Can we stop for a second? Behind the scenes while you have this facade.
Absolutely.
I love this for her. Can I just stop and say that? I love this for her. She is so worked up.
She really is. I mean, normally her frustration and anger is a little bit performative, but I think she is genuinely annoyed at this moment. Because, of course, this is cutting into the Christmas grift. I mean, also, it's been turned into a Christmas grift of its own. But the question I want to know is, why should I care if JLR is seeing the person who helps run his channel or not? I presume they're both single people. They're not married. And frankly, if they were married, that would be a situation where it would be to do with the partners. Why? I don't understand it. Why am I meant to be concerned about who he's sleeping with? And I find it ridiculous coming from Bullhorn Betty, who didn't seem to be particularly thrilled when there was speculation about her and Dolly. But now it seems to be perfectly fine.
Facade in front of people, again, is not my secrets to keep. Jonathan Lee Riches. Jonathan Lee Riches actually has tried to silence me politically. He told me that if I come clean, and this is why I've kept my mouth shut, that he was going to damage me politically. At this point, I don't give a shit. If they're going to take him over me, then I don't need to be a part of it anyways, period. Because he's a felon, he's still on felony probation, and he's doing a lot of damage behind the scenes, not only to me, but to other people to keep his secrets hush. And I'm done. I'm not going to be playing these games. And as a matter of fact, I will be, there's things I'm not going to be discussing on here. I'll allege them.
Can we stop here?
A few things, but the rest of it, I'm taking.
She's not doing any of this now. Now she's not gonna. But all these, what if they've been like hanging out for like 2 years now? This is ridiculous. It's fine to keep all of his secrets and put up with how much of a slime ball he is until, you know, he rubs you the wrong way. And then you're going to put out all of his dirt. You are some kind of special Betty. See, I don't watch her. This is fascinating.
Yeah, and I see the chat's picking up on politically. Mm-hmm. Good question. What the fuck is she talking about?
It's very interesting, isn't it? The idea that somebody is going to prefer JLR over her politically. Now, I can only think that she somehow feels that he's amplified count recently is going to give him more influence. But what exactly is it that she thinks she's going to be doing politically? I mean, I know most people think of these two as their connection beginning with Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie case, because that's where most of us know them from, causing a ruckus outside the Laundrie's house. And a lot of people believe that that was where they first met, but of course they didn't, because they've both got political involvement that predates that. And both turned up in similar pro-Trump protests and school board protests and anti-mask movements. And politically, they have been connected for much longer than the whole concept of heels on the ground. So there is some political influence in the background there. Obviously, she considers herself of some political importance, goodness knows why. And I think it's Burnt Toast has speculated that she will eventually try and parlay this sort of social media profile into trying to move into politics. And that is a horrifying thought. But she obviously considers that she has some sort of political aspect to her life that is significant and that he might damage it. And my mind boggles.
Can you imagine Betty the politician?
I love
Just
this
throwing
comment.
fits in the floor, kicking and screaming like a 3-year-old.
Instead of front row Joe, she's about to be back row Betty.
I'm taking to the law enforcement. I'm over it. And you are not going to take my channel. And if you do, so what? We'll build a new one. We'll build a new one. This is going to be clipped and sent all over the internet anyway. So I'm going to take this time before any more damage, before he can damage me any further. I'm going to take the time just to come clean. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and play something for you because I've got to address yet another asshole.
Okay, we're not bothered about this one.
streets
We're going to spin through now. We're going to go to the 7-minute mark. If you're interested in Bullhorn Betty's inability to research whether somebody is licensed in Tennessee, SF investigates. She looked up the wrong name, had the incorrect spelling, couldn't find him, maintained he wasn't licensed. In fact, he was. So, yeah, that's all that is. We're spinning right past it. And we're going to go to the 7-minute mark.
Look at that face, guys.
Done. We'll find out. We'll definitely find out. Good morning, the real Me Too, Manic Mama. I'm sorry we're over here. Mel C, I see you. Nice to see you. Danellen, hopefully I got that. Screaming Mimi. I hope you guys share this all over the place because here's what happened. I didn't realize that, Jonathan, well, I have realized because he does this to all of his women. He keeps them very secret. They're his dirty little secret. Okay. So when I saw Magnolia out there with Jonathan, I learned that Magnolia.
Did you notice? She says he does this to all of his women and she's talking about herself, what he's doing to her. Was that a Freudian slip, Betty? Is there something you'd like to tell us?
I bet those were Betty's undies he was holding up.
Pause game on
he'll ever
point
tell us?
once again.
Has cancer. Okay. And I don't know what type. I just, it was told to me. So it's obviously public information or, not kept a secret. And so I had just had it. Okay. I really had just had it with his shenanigans with all these women and everything like that. I just want to let you ladies know, whenever he steps away to have those conversations, he's talking to another woman. Aunt Mary is not Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary is his sugar mama, and she lives in Georgia. He sneaks off with her out in the woods. I'm not going to allege what they're doing, but they go to a cabin several times a year.
What?
And that's the house he's living in. Okay. He does not own that home. That is the house.
Aunt Mary's backing it up, Betty. It's not your business.
Okay? He is on, and I found this out because he's lied to me for
A couple of things that immediately spring to mind listening to this. One, Betty's concept of secrets and general knowledge. One person told her something, and now because that person told her, it is out there and it is public knowledge, and she can continue to share it. So don't ever tell Betty something, because the minute that she hears it, she considers that you've made it public knowledge. She is the public, and therefore she's free to spread it wherever she wants. So you're warned. I'm not surprised that he's with an older woman and he's living in her house, because I thought he must be living with his mum, because the interior design, the decor, definitely suggested
That's what I always thought, Pearl.
Everyone thought
a
it's mom.
lady.
His mother's home. Yeah.
But I've got to be honest with you here. Now, okay, I don't like heels in the air, and you will know why. When she was building up to this whole sort of suggesting an older woman thing, I was just waiting for it. It's not his Aunt Mary. I was just waiting for the next line to be, it's actually heels in the air.
Oh my God.
And all this antagonism,
twist.
all this antagonism was actually to sort of knock us off discovering the truth. But sadly, I was disappointed, and the soap opera wasn't going to be as good as I thought. But nevertheless,
We tried. We tried.
I think a lot of us have an Aunt Mary. Just saying.
For several years, telling me he was not on felony probation. Everybody kept saying it. I went to bat for him because that's what he told me. And come to find out, that was a lie. He does this shenanigans behind the scenes. So while I was sitting there researching what was going on and, how many women, first of all, he's got some in Sarasota. He's got several in Tampa. I'm shocked who some of these people are. I got to be honest with you. And this is his thing. His facade is
I got to tell you, I'm shocked too, Betty. The notion that there are real human walking around women, not things that are printed on a pillow, actually hanging out with JLR on some sort of romantic basis, is frankly mind-blowing. But
We are all shocked.
yeah, we're all surprised. Who knew? I'm just astonished. I can't imagine him, given that his face never moves. He has a remarkably line-free face and an empty and flat effect when talking. I'm just wondering what signals he manages to give out when he's flirting.
He looks sickly. I don't get the appeal.
I'm just wondering whether he's got some sort of Love Actually thing, where he turns up on their doorstep with the boom box, and everything written on a card, like the end of that film Love Actually, where the guy's in love with the woman who's married to his best friend, and he turns up and goes, pretend it's carol singers, to me you are perfect, that sort of thing. And I'm wondering, given that Jonathan Ellie Rich's face doesn't appear to give any personality or movement that would indicate flirting, whether he goes the direct route, or perhaps he serves them with a lawsuit. You are criminally good looking.
I bet you it's all with them too, Pearl. Guaranteed.
I see what you did there, Pearl.
secrecy. That's his power. So when we remove his secrecy, he no longer has power. And it's just very, very highly disturbing to me that something like him being with a girl turned out to me losing my channel for 7 days. But that's what it is. I knew he was going to come after me. I didn't know how hard, but I had to analyze the whole entire picture and find out who's really coming after me. Is it SF Investigates? He's doing the warring on Twitter publicly. This is somebody that's behind the scenes sneaky, right? Somebody that probably puts on a nice facade for everybody. He hates kids. Not that he wants anything bad to happen to kids, but he hates kids. So this facade that he's out there and doing things, he treats women like crap. One of his ex-girlfriends he beat. Okay, again, these are things that I'm learning. I've spoken with her.
She knew these things,
right?
She's just learning this. What did you speak to her in the last hour, Betty?
People used to get blocked for saying this in her chat.
Wasn't this the legendary Drunk Live where she blurted out that he was a woman beater and then she deleted it? No receipts, I see, Betty, which would have been useful. But the idea that you've suddenly discovered all these things about him that never crossed your mind before is astonishing and frankly unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know if she beat the ex, but she definitely strangled somebody. I thought it was maybe a mother and an ex.
It's
I'm not
it does seem a bit rich for her to be judging him getting into physical altercations with his romantic partner, given her own past history. And where did this thing about him hating kids suddenly come from? Out of nowhere, he hates kids. Okay, any evidence of that? Where is this coming from?
He goes to playgrounds specifically to kick children.
That's right. He's got a special practice dirt pile in his garden. He places the neighbour's children on top of the dirt pile and takes a good run up. People have seen him do it. I have no idea where she's come from this.
The direct quote from her, but didn't she say something? I think Betty actually hates children because she said something about, like, I don't even want to say it. Children not living, pretty much.
Yes.
So
Yes, she's very much of the considering them rather like unwanted dogs that should be
Oh,
conveniently rounded up and put to
'cause
rest.
we're all animals. We're all animals.
Yes, and I certainly wouldn't let her look after an animal either. Perhaps that's how they bonded. Perhaps part of their bonding was that they both disliked children.
Right? These are horrible things, but that's not the big thing. Why is he taking me out for all these girly things? Right? No big deal. It's not that. It's because I found out that he trolled somebody in 2016. We'll call this the Moore case. And that person ended up taking their life. And then it brought me back to a situation of Benny Keys. And I remember this firsthand. This is firsthand knowledge from me. Now, I don't know if this chick, Benny Keys was referring to, really did lose her life or not. I don't know. I have no earthly idea. Okay. He could have been teaching JLR a lesson for all I know. She may be very well alive. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But I know that that girl that Benny Keys said took her life, JLR was very upset about. He seemed very nervous. And he came to me and he's like, do you really think BK did that or is being truthful? And I went back and looked at the video and I said, yeah, I kind of do. And if you guys remember, I even took 2 weeks to let him grieve. We were all warring at the time. Well, Jonathan told me that he had been trolling that woman really hard. So these are the things that are causing a lot of problems behind the scenes.
Okay, I've actually
Wow.
tried to research into this, and I can't find any evidence of this at all. Has anybody else found any evidence of this?
I
mean, I
had
have
never,
to say
I
that
had not
Benny,
heard it. I had never heard it.
Me either.
Benny as a source immediately makes me question. And I'm wondering what the situation was where he was trolling this person who is not a celebrity and not a political person and isn't Hurricane Katrina. I had a look through and all I could find was the BuzzFeed article where he was trolling pretty hardcore with a large group. The women who were organising anti-Trump protests. And let me grab that article.
One Night Flo, thank you for being a member for 3 months. She says, hey, ladies, keep up the good work.
I don't know whether, we can share it later or people can look at it on their own. I can put it in the chat. But these women are in an article on BuzzFeed, and the trolling was to the extent that people were contacting places where they'd worked, leaving negative reviews, all the usual troll bullshit. But these women, each of them is very much alive. So I would like to know who this person is that was allegedly trolled so hard by JLR that they took their own life, because I cannot find any evidence of it at all. And if you know any differently or any better, please hit us up in the chat or by email, because I would love to know. This is a really big allegation to make. She very much talks about it as a real event, not just as some allegation that she's heard. When she says that they took time out from their dispute so he could grieve, she is talking about this in a very real way. And I would like to see a single receipt for this, please.
Again, these are just alleged facts. I'm not the investigative body that
Alleged facts.
I know that he has done some damage to me behind the scenes, and I was none the wiser because I was blind. I was blind. But he's trying to destroy me behind the scenes. And I'm not going to be quiet. And he threatened me if I came public that he was going to try to destroy me politically. I don't care at this point. Because I truly believe that he was trying to push me over the edge as well. If you really want to know the truth about it. He's a very strategic man, and he did a lot of stuff behind the scenes to me that people don't understand. And I'm not going to go into it. But this idea, this illusion with all this court filings that JLR and I are tight and all this other stuff, this man has lied to me. He has he's done a lot of ugly things to me that I don't wish to disclose here. But I will not be silent. I will not be used for a pawn. I will not be your secret keeper. I'm done. And when I say I'm done, I'm done. And you know who I'm going to call? I'm going to call law enforcement about this. That's who I'm going to call because, again, I don't know whether these things are true or not, but they scare the hell out of me. I have to be honest with you, especially knowing that he knows where I live. He knows my social security number. He knows my driver's license number. He knows my date of birth.
Wait, can you pause a second?
Why?
Does he know her social security number and her driver's license number? This I find bizarre.
How
He
is the
probably
last
helped her
person? I would
fill
think,
out
yeah.
lawsuits.
It's got to be that, hasn't it? It's got to be something official. But it's very strange. Also, I'd love to know what she's going to say when she calls the police. When she says all these things are alleged and she doesn't have any receipts, that phone call could be interesting. What exactly are you going to tell them?
We'll need a FOIA on that phone call.
We're talking. Yeah, we'll need another FOIA. Listen,
We are
this
the
is
FOIA
the
police.
woman that calls the feds on a creator because they're in her chat. She's an Uber Karen. That's what she's law and order.
She is Mega Karen, final boss Karen.
And again, pause game on point. Just saying. Look at that.
You really can't lose with her, can you?
He could literally do a massive amount of damage to me. And he's already started. And I truly believe that this whole thing with these false copyright strikes are a direct result of him. Because they are already plastered all over YouTube. Why is it only me getting these copyright strikes? That's the question I have. And there's only one person angry enough with me right now to try to do malicious things behind the scene, and that's JLR. And that's everything in a nutshell when it comes to that. There's a lot of weight, but I can tell you that all these women, you guys are just side pieces for him. He will never claim you. He will always keep you his dirty little secret, because at the end of the day, he's got bigger fish to fry, right?
Aunt Mary's the one.
Like great Aunt Mary, his sugar mama. He's got to keep that flame going because let's face it, he's on disability. He has no money except what he makes on YouTube. So as far as I'm concerned, it's about $25,000. Definitely far cry from 3 million. A far cry from 3 million. His money is not his. His lifestyle is a facade. And I'm not going to have a facade take me down when I'm trying to do real work here while he's trying to play this great guy. You guys can believe what you want to believe. I really don't care. Some people just need to learn the lesson on their own. Because I'm telling you, I've learned a very valuable lesson. That
if you want
Is he really a ladies' man?
if you want to pretend he's this great guy, is anybody out there pretending that JLR's a great guy? Even the people who watch his on the scene news coverage, are they actually saying he's a great guy? or is it more likely that they grudgingly say, oh, well, he is at least at the scene of the crime. Let's see what he's got to say. I don't
His
see
110
anybody.
subs think he's a Boy Scout, I'm sure. 110,000 people.
I also the disability aspect. I presume that she's saying that he has a mental health disability, and that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what his medical diagnosis is. He may receive some sort of state support or disability benefit. I don't know.
Seems
I
legit.
do know that his mental illness is frequently used in his defense when he's in court for breaking parole or breaking probation, that his attorneys will mention his mental illness. And in fact, in one of those court appearances, JLR's attorney said that his client was delusional. And he gave us an example, JLR lodging a lawsuit against Hurricane Katrina while he was in federal prison. And he said that this lawsuit exemplified his client's tenuous grip on reality. And I thought that was a fair comment. I don't think that Hurricane Katrina was ever going to turn up in court. And yes, so I do think that he has some mental illness issues. Whether he receives benefit, I don't know. But again, why is it your place to bring it up?
It's actually a pretty common thing for people in the United States that are in prison for a while to receive benefits. So not anything unusual, or, you know, she's saying like it would be a bad thing. I don't know that it is. It just makes her look, to me, even worse.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's completely ableist. The thing is, I wonder if you actually went into a newsroom or people who work in TV news, I can bet you the proportion of people who have some sort of mental health diagnosis and quite possibly take medication would be much higher than you think. People can lead absolutely normal and successful lives when they work with therapy and with their medication, and they treat it like any other issue of health that you would work with. She's trying to undermine everything about him. Now, there are so many things that you could use to undermine his position. He's the sort of ridiculous amount of lawsuits, the way that he is actually pretended to be people involved in terrible crimes in order to do fake lawsuits, all these things. You don't have to focus on the mental illness, but because you're an ableist, that's what you want to do, because that is a nice, cheap, easy signifier to your audience that is the equivalent to you of having a neon sign that says untrustworthy. He's untrustworthy for many reasons. While you're trying to make it about his health issue, well, I do understand. I don't like it. And I don't even like the guy.
I love Alta. I personally think that she's telling a lot of people right now why they're really beefing. She was the secret. She was the side piece. And he got that Google Play button and kind of right after that ignored her and shooed her away. I remember they were going to down in Florida. She was rushing to get there. It was when he kind of blew up. And she talked about how he ignored her, and he talked about getting out of there before she got there. And I remember that all going down and thinking, oh, that's it for them. They just really, I guess it wasn't addressed until now, maybe.
Yeah, I think that it's a ego and money thing. I don't believe that it's about personal threats or even romance, although it wouldn't surprise me to find out that there'd been some sort of relationship on the quiet. I think that he may have been antagonized by her copying so much of the wording of his lawsuit against Unirock was essentially the basis of her original paperwork against Queen Bee. Whether he supported that or not, I don't know. I do think part of Betty's attitude towards him is seeing that he's pulling away from her. I think that he now considers himself more legit after his massive sub increase when he was covering Danilo Cavalcante, the escaped murderer, was it Pennsylvania? I can't remember. I'm sorry. Forgive my geographical ignorance.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pennsylvania.
And he was the person on the ground, and he got a huge amount of subs from that. And then around the same time, he managed to get a press pass into the Alex Murdaugh trial, and she couldn't get in. And I think those facts have really, really stuck in her throat, because in her mind, she considers herself the more legitimate of the two because of his past history of trolling and scamming. She considers herself more legitimate, and she thinks she should be in that position. Meanwhile, he just wants to pull away, whether that's because of a broken romantic relationship, annoyance over her copying the lawsuits, just not wanting to be associated. He's definitely pulling away from her, and she is angry.
Yeah, she's so upset. I mean, I've seen a lot of like clips of her, but I've never watched a lot of her. But this is fascinating. I see why you cover her now, Sis.
I see the comment from Running Bear that says Magnolia came with subs, and also your comment where you mentioned that you think she's jealous of Magnolia. I've never heard the name till today, so I'm even learning more today.
Oh,
Right.
we're going to discuss Magnolia in a little bit when she gets brought up by Betty, but that is certainly, we've been very interested by Magnolia today.
And that is most likely, I don't think he's going to take my channel, but he's going to be able to do some major damage. I'm hoping by coming clean, it will stop, but I can only assume that at this point, it's probably going to get worse, and he's probably going to act like nothing happened, and he's probably not going to address this, and he's probably going to be reaching out to everybody under the sun to try to apply pressure to shut me up. And I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. He's gone too far for me. So now we're in it. Now it's a whole QB thing all over. Now it's gone to the point where we have to expose, and now we have to go down this road, because my quiet is going to be what ends up killing me here. Because I've got a channel to worry about. I got finances to worry about. I'm down for a week. Now, mind you, YouTube is my primary source of income. So now, right before Christmas, I don't get an income for a week.
Hit up my Cash App at.
So you could kind of imagine my upset.
Oh,
That
wait a minute. Did she really just do that? Like, talked about how YouTube is her main source of income.
Yeah,
that is the first time that tears have came to her eyes, and she turned off her camera. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Everybody looks.
A person that had my loyalty and I went to bat for, and to find out he would do this to me is just absolutely insane. And I told them, don't make any moves. I had not made any moves yet. I didn't know what I was going to do with the information, not to do underhanded stuff. And he started doing underhanded stuff. And so I have no choice now. He pushed this forward. I didn't want to do.
She never thought that he would do that to her. In the famous Twitter quote, "I never thought the leopard would eat my face," said woman who supported the Leopard Eating Faces party. If you see somebody consistently trolling and messing with people, Why would you think that you are somehow unique and untouchable and it will never happen to you?
To do this here. I didn't want to do it like this. But at the end of the day, he's not going to destroy me to keep my mouth shut. It's not going to happen. I will not do it. I have my own damn platform and I will utilize it. And look at this. We have this on a backup channel and we still have 137 people watching. And I also blasted this on Twitter with his handle because I am sick and tired of this. If you want to keep warring with me, that is fine. We will do this thing.
She's gone to Twitter,
I
y'all.
can promise you.
She's warring. She keeps saying warring.
I know.
She's
I'm
serious.
Yeah, she is really shook up about this. I can only imagine that she's shook up about it because of the financial implications. Because I can't imagine. I don't know. I just don't see him as a big romantic loss, even if there was some sort of connection there. Perhaps she was hoping to get an Auntie Mary of her own. I don't know.
And Uncle Bob. Baton Rouge, we're still trying to figure out what the hell he did.
Information, and I'm not the one that needs to verify it for the people of YouTube. That is for an investigative body to verify this.
I'm just making the allegations.
I'm not going to sit here.
I'm just making the allegations. Don't come to me asking for truth or receipts or facts. I am merely giving you the allegations. It's for somebody else to verify.
Well, I heard Bullhorn Betty wears a weave. me and Haven's seen it.
She looks like she needs that weave, girl. I swear. There is a forehead that is becoming increasingly available for advertising space in the next political cycle.
Maybe Cher could get some space on Betty's head.
Nice
and Betty, if you're watching, Betty Keys, if you're watching and your friend truly died, I would suggest you calling law enforcement and tell them to look a little deeper because they might find something pushed her over the edge. That's all I'm saying. If she's not, please come clean and vindicate JLR because I know right now I'm doing some damage. But I truly believe JLR was doing stuff behind the scenes to push me over the edge. If he had done this already twice and got away with it and didn't get in trouble for it, I'm a healthy, well-balanced woman, and I've been put under a lot of pressure.
Hold up.
I can tell you that.
What?
It did not break me.
Where did the second woman come from? We went from allegations that he trolled one woman into suicide. And now it's two women. How many women is this going to be by the end of this section? Also, now call me suspicious, but the fact that she said that this happened to one of Benny's friends. I mean, first of all, Benny and friends, that's a tough sentence for me to swallow. But then, how convenient that it would be one of Benny's friends.
I just want to make sure you guys are all clear. Bullhorn Betty didn't take medication. She didn't go over the edge. But, you know, it's still, after hearing this, everything started clicking. You know, he knew, he was very strategic. He knew what he was doing. And I'm not going to, again, sit here and I agree with you, Susie Sue. I agree with you 100%. But that's not the point. The point is if that girl really did take her life, or really was pushed over the edge where she, you know, used substances to take her life because she couldn't handle it, that only a BK knows. He knows for a fact one way or another, or anybody that knows him that's in that area would know for a fact one way or another. All I'm saying is if the story is true and she truly is, I'm telling you firsthand, JLR told me, and he seemed nervous when he did at the time, that he trolled her really bad and he was asking me if I really believed BK or not. And I told him I did. I never heard much about it after that. It just went hush, hush, quiet. You know, I didn't know what to think. I think I just moved on from it or didn't look at it again. But it wasn't until I was told about the 2016 case that memory came back. I remembered that vividly. I remember exactly where we were when this all happened. I just remember it. And then it brought me to what he was doing to me behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And that's when I kind of started
Hey,
connecting the
Mac,
dots. Was he trying
you
to
know
do
what?
that?
I actually have a live stream called Speculation Station with Bullhorn Betty and Olivia, because that's what it remind me. I'm on a train. We're all getting off here. We're at Speculation Station. That's what she does. She throws it out, whatever will stick, and it's allegedly. Well, you guys find all the facts, but and you think she'd be more careful now that she's in litigation with two separate people, but she's not. And I think got worse, in my
I
opinion.
find it really, really strange that she's telling us here that she remembers clearly this being discussed. It's a vivid memory that somehow she managed to overlook for the last 2 years. And only he's coming back to her now that she thinks that he struck her channel. Colour me cynical, but I just think she's absolutely full of bullshit.
Do that to me too. And so I don't know, but I know that it's scary enough that I can't keep quiet and I need to let a lot of people know what's going on. If he takes my channel, he takes my channel. But there was a social media person. His last name was Moore. It was from 2016. And apparently this was a major topic that surrounded JLR at the time. So this is not unheard of. But I'm not going to, if my channel is taken, I hope I garner the same support from the work that I do. But I've got to come clean and I've got to let the chips fall where they're going to fall. I got to tell you that keeping all of this in has been very toxic for me, but I was scared and I didn't want to lose, all the stuff that I had worked so hard for. But when you're faced with losing it anyways, what purpose is the secrets, right? So this has kind of pushed me over the edge to the point that I needed to come clean. Now, could it be somebody from like Blank Screen or somebody doing that? Yeah, it could be. It could be. And maybe I jumped the gun and maybe I shouldn't have opened my mouth. It could be, right? But I also believe in signs. And I believe in a higher power. And there's a reason why this happened to me today. And I think it was because God knows I would have kept it quiet until something happened. By that time, it would be too late. So I'm done. I don't know what else to say. If you guys want a public display, JLR and I are not friends. We are not friends. He has lied to me. He has used me. He has sandbagged me. He has hit me with a freight train and ran over me over and over again over these years. And I took it. And I took it for the sake of these cases, for the sake of not causing rifts on here, because I was told, don't bring things public. That's the way he trained me, right? Don't bring things public.
For the person that always talks about how everything's public, don't bring it public. She kept all these secrets for years, guys. Years.
I want to know how she managed to recover without any of us noticing after he ran a train over her over and over and over again.
Right. You've seen my nuts.
Don't bring things public. So I've always had that in the back of my head. I remember one time, and this brings me back to why Heels really went after JLR so hard. Because when I first met JLR, we had a political friend, two political friends. I don't want to disclose their name, but the lady was significantly older than the guy. And I remember JLR saying to me that that just doesn't look right. That, it just doesn't look right. He doesn't understand it. It just doesn't look. So he's already predisposing you and making you think that would never be an option for him.
Can you pause a
until you
moment?
find out about Aunt Mary and Aunt Mary not being.
Where does Heels in the Air fit into this older woman situation that you're talking about? Is there something that you know about them having met in some political sphere that you're not fully ready to spit out, Betty, but you've just inadvertently hinted at? Because I can't see how this connects to Heels in the Air at all. And yet you specifically just mentioned it as a reason why you think that there's a problem between Heels and JLR. I would love to know more about this.
Yeah, I almost didn't catch it because I was about to get up until you just, wow.
Not being an
That's
aunt and him
interesting.
running off to the woods with her several times a year. And so now now that he obviously doesn't mind older ladies. And Heels went after that man so bad, and all he wanted to do was expose her. That's all he wanted to do was expose her. And I don't think he could just come out with her name. So he was trying to backdoor everything, right? He was trying to leave crumbs for people to find to lead back to her. So Heels, I mean, I'm not being disrespectful, but is there more going on there? Because it sure looks like it. I kept thinking, man, I think many of us thought so. She's acting like a crazy ex-girlfriend. Not that I'm saying it is, but it's starting to make a little
Wait
more
a
sense,
minute.
isn't it?
You're sounding like a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Uh-huh. Tanga, are you seeing this shit?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm seeing it clearly.
Oh, man.
She's ridiculous. I've got to start watching her. Especially now. She's losing it.
Whenever I questioned him about
Her voice for me, I feel like it keeps getting higher, but she is interesting to watch. I will give her that. She is interesting to watch.
Magnolia, who Magnolia Sims was, because my mods came back here and told me that she was yelling at people not to say my name in the chat. I'm like, so I reach out to JLR. I'm like, who's this? Why is Magnolia being mean to me? Who's this Magnolia chick? And why is she the only one modding in your chat? That's what I'm asking him. And he basically tells me that she's not a girl. And I said, is she a dude acting like a girl? And he's like, no, not that. I said, what are you trying to say? Is she a transvestite? And he's like, it doesn't matter. It's not what you think. That's what so he implied it through these text messages that freaking.
Hey, buddy, it's 2024.
Right?
It's not transvestite.
She is such a strange woman. Why on earth is this of any material point at all? I mean, my interest in Magnolia Sims comes from a different angle, which we'll discuss in a minute. But why would he say that? I find that hard to believe that he said that. And I find it even more stupefying that she thinks this is a significant point. This is like mentioning mental illness. I mean, she's like full on bigotry bingo at this stage. Just throw them out there, Betty.
I mean, murder. What else what is she going to say next? I'm wow.
Magnolia Sims is a transvestite. I'm like you just, and then I meet her and she's a nice girl and she has cancer and he's using her. And I'm sorry, how much do you guys want me to take before I go on?
How does that affect you?
Tell me, because this is about my limit before I.
Really good question, Pearl.
How much more do you want me to take? What are you saying here? Because what it sounds like to me is that you're saying, I got thrown over for a transvestite with cancer. Not even a healthy transvestite. What the hell are you saying, you strange, strange woman? I'm just astonished at her. I mean, first of all, why are you disclosing this person's medical history? And then she says, she's a nice woman. No shit. Do you know what I mean? People of all sorts of genders and sexualities can actually be nice people. I'm sorry that this is breaking news for you in the 21st century, Betty.
Oh, Betty.
I start making waves on social media.
Oh my God.
I've had it. I've had it. And Jonathan is part of the problem. And I truly believe he's been playing both sides of the fences this whole time. He's got literally hundreds of troll accounts. He does a lot of damage to people behind the scenes. And now he's using those strategies and tactics against me to try to take my channel down or to control me.
Pause here,
And
please.
there's
my
the
channel
crux
down
of it.
and the political pressure.
Yeah,
Yes,
all of
I
this
know.
was fine until it was
Yeah.
her.
It
She didn't
matter
care
to
what
me.
kind of a grimy bastard he was until
Yeah.
he's upset with her.
At the point when it happened that she might be at the receiving end of, let me backtrack that statement. At the point where it looked like she was going to be trolled, then it became an issue. You are a piece of work, Betty.
Because from what I hear, Great Aunt Mary, Sugar Mama, apparently has some political power. She's obviously a millionaire in Georgia. So, I just keep wondering, is he going to be coming after me with money? How deep is this going to go with Bullhorn Betty?
I've seen
I
that
don't know.
swallow.
I don't know, but for whatever reason, he picked this fight. I don't know why. He could have just been honest. He chose not to. And when I looked into it, I found out all this other information, and it scares me. And I approached him about it to ask him for comment on it. And I think that was just yesterday, the day before. And then today my channel's gone. I got hit with one strike yesterday. And then today I get hit with another one. Very strategic, just enough to make my channel go down.
I do want to mention that as far as I know, what I've seen, the person that struck her has nothing to do with JLR. And I've seen somebody mention it in the comments. I don't know for sure, but the receipts that I've seen on Twitter lead me to believe that this person has nothing to do with JLR. So that's just, speculation on my part since we're at the station. Hope you feel better, Sue.
So what's what here? JLR, you got some explaining to do, buddy. And you can go after me. You can go to leadership. You can go to anywhere you want. I've got documentation for all of this. You know it. I asked you about it. You cowered out. You won't respond. I even told you that this is serious. And you think going behind the scenes and taking my main channel out is going to keep me? I got 172 people in here, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that clipped this. If you really wanted it silent, I don't think that that's what the result you got by coming after my channel. I just want to let you know. I don't think that's the result that you got from coming after my channel. I'm going to ask you one more time, Jonathan. You need to stand down and don't bother me again. And I know I've been texting you because I know that's what he's going to say. I've been asking him. Oh, I've been blowing it up, asking him all these questions, asking him all of these questions. Let's see here.
Blowing
All
them
these
up.
questions. My last one was, this is me burning down the house. Fuck you. I'm done. I don't care who believes me. I don't care who doesn't believe me. I don't care. I don't care. Learn it for yourself. Anybody that spends any significant time around this man gets burned. And that's all there is to it. And let you be a lady. Oh, he'll use you up for good time, right? He'll use you up for your money. He'll use you up for your creativity. He will use you up to get him where he needs to go, his plateau. And then he does the flipperoo. He will start working to destroy you behind the scenes, especially if you start asking questions. So ladies, and I say
Is
ladies
this a
plural,
confession?
you better start asking him those questions. Now would be a great time, because all you ladies probably are all hanging out with each other, smiling in each other's face, and are never even the wiser. And he's sitting over in the corner looking at all you, just enjoying the view. I
Can we
just want to
pause for a minute?
That's how sick and
Tracy Ann says she texts him asking if it's true that he bullied 2 women into suicide. Says she won't go live until he comments. She approached him like a reporter from the Damn Inquirer, then gets paranoid. She's something else.
All the women sitting around just figuring it out, thanks to Betty.
I want to know how he's managing to run all these relationships when he appears to sort of go to one place and be committed to that place for several days or several weeks in sometimes. When is he seeing these women?
Yeah, this is wild. I can't see that many women. Well, I don't know. People are weird.
sick and twisted.
Thank you for that, Tracy Ann. The thought of JLR as Mr. Lover Lover is now going to be a cursed image in my head tonight. You'll be hearing from my attorney.
It is just absolutely and utterly insane. So JLR, I hope you got the result you wanted by taking my channel for 7 days. And if you want to keep hitting me, there's only so many videos you can do, right? Eventually it'll end up rolling out. You have no earthly idea. You literally have no idea. And I'm happy to take somebody wants to pay for a polygraph test. I'm happy to take it. I'm happy to take a polygraph test. I have no problem. Anybody wants to pay for it? I live in Manatee County. Find one in Manatee County or Sarasota. Give them a list of questions. I pay for it. I will go down and answer the questions, and you can have the results.
This is so weird. Very, very strange. Okay, weird things that came to me while I was watching that. How? Why is she so surprised that JLR? I mean, ignoring the fact that he looks like he's trying to, or at least give the impression of being legit. Why is she surprised that he is King Troll? I mean, just off the top of my head, I was trying to think of things that he'd been involved with earlier, and he pretended to be the Uber spree killer, you know, the Kalamazoo guy, Jason Dalton. He pretended to be Jason Dalton and filed against Uber. So that became a news story until people figured out that it wasn't actually a legit Jason Dalton that was filed the case. He pretended to be Jared Lee Loughner, the guy who attempted to assassinate Gabby Giffords, in order to sue Gabby Gifford for unlawful imprisonment as a sort of political prisoner. Again, that made the news until it was discovered that it was a fake person. He travelled to Sandy Hook and pretended to be the uncle of the Sandy Hook shooter, Adam Lanza. He sued his own mum and actually won. I mean, he did actually get some money out of that case. which bit of all this stuff that was already predating information about JLR didn't tip you off to the fact that he might be an awkward person to deal with? Yeah, as Tracy answers, she's not really surprised. She's nervous that he's coming for her. It seems a really weird game to play, to sort of say all these alleged things when he's already got lawsuits on people who've said far less. The other thing that got me was Magnolia Sims. I don't know anything about Magnolia Sims. This is not a slight against her. I don't know anything about her sexuality, her gender identity, her background, whether that's her real name, whatever. I don't know. But when I heard the name Magnolia Sims, I was instantly thinking, I know that name. And I checked all the news articles on Google. I was trying to search through news articles for her. Nothing was coming up. So I was thinking, why? Why do I know the name Magnolia Sims? And then later in the afternoon, it came to me. It's a pretty obscure thing if you're not actually somebody who's ever listened to many of the Monkees albums, which might be a niche market. I don't know. I love the Monkees unapologetically. And my sister was a huge fan, which is how I came to enjoy them so much. But, oh, Magnolia Sims. Track 10 on the Birds, the Bees and the Monkees. And that's where I know the name from. What was interesting was that, of course, the verse in Magnolia Sims, where it says, Magnolia Sims is my little doll. I can't live without her. Which is, again, really freaky when you consider that one of the things that JLR is most infamous for is the legal case on the smoking gun. You don't need to be able to read it. I'm going to get the little individual bit that I'm referring to in a minute, where it was revealed that during the case for him having broken his probation by turning up, pretending to be Adam Lanza's uncle, as seen in the below video, Richie's auto contained dolls to which he'd affixed photos of Adam Lanza and the gunman's older brother, Ryan. So his channel manager is named after a famous song about a doll. And JLR's a big fan of the whole doll thing. The weirdness, there's just like levels to it. It's just levels and levels and levels. Anyway, I don't make that as any big claim to anything. It was just interesting. I knew the name. I tried to search up why I knew the name. No news reports came up. And then it came to me. It was a Monkey song. Not even the weirdest thing I've looked at today, to be quite honest. This is going to get good. I've just got a feeling it's going to get much worse before it stops.
Yeah, I think I want to watch and keep an eye on this one. This is wild.
That's true, Linny. There was that whole thing with BK beating up a doll as well, wasn't there? What is it with these weirdos and dolls? I don't know that he has been banned. I've skipped that. I'm not sure that he has been banned from taking legal action. I think that he was restrained from. I think it was a limited time thing, but I'm not absolutely sure. I'd have to go back and have a look. It is a weird onion, yes, and there are just layers of weirdness. But, I mean, does anybody else have any doubts that there was possibly some romantic aspect between Bullhorn Betty and JLR? Because it looked that way to me from the way that she was responding.
It does seem like a scorned lover. I'm sorry, but That's the way her behavior is coming off. It's very bizarre.
If there wasn't a relationship in that way, I think that maybe she wanted there to be. So that's kind of how I feel about
Something
it.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe
It
it
could very
wasn't
well be.
returned to her. That's kind of why she keeps bringing up the whole thing. Oh, if you're in a room with him, ladies, I just kind of get the feeling that she's talking from experience. Like she's
Yes,
been there
yeah.
and felt them feelings.
Yeah, and I definitely got the impression that she was trying to more than hint at that with heels. It's just like, if you know something, Betty, just spit it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's her whole thing. Her whole spiel is, if you see something, say something. Well, Betty, we're here for it.
I'm fascinated by what the idea is of how he could damage her politically. Does she seriously have plans to run for some sort of position? And why does it matter that Great Aunt Mary or Aunt Mary, whatever the heck she is, Sugar Mama, has political influence in Georgia and money? What is Betty hoping to do in Georgia that would make any difference to her?
I don't know. I think that was a really bizarre, strange statement. I mean, I guess is that her angle? Politics? I don't know. I mean,
I could see it.
I've seen people that I would like, nobody would vote for them, and then I see like, oh, they really will. So, nothing's impossible.
There was that, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name or even which side of the floor he was from, but there was somebody who came in with the last intake who was revealed to be like a massive liar about everything. I've said that as if that isn't true of almost any political player, for God's sake. No, this was some congressman who got a seat, and it just turns out that almost everything about him was a lie. And I can't think of his name. I'll need to go and check that later. But yeah, politics and lying, not strangers, are they? Very often very fond bedfellows. It's intriguing now because you're coming up to a political cycle, aren't you? Don't you have all your elections in the coming year? Presidential
Yes.
election, yeah.
2024. Yes.
The presidential election is coming up, yes. But there's always certain elections going on, it seems like, all the time.
That could just be what she's. Oops, sorry, Eliza. That could be what she's about to run for.
Oh, Lord.
And yes, Chronicles of Olivia, I just checked for whoever asked in chat. She has 281,000 subscribers. She just uploaded a video 7 days ago called It's Winter, Where's Summer? Hashtag missing.
I had heard something about Betty and Olivia being seen going onto a property that they shouldn't have been on. So they must have been together, still working together at that point. I don't know how long ago that was, but I was under the impression that it was fairly recently.
Yeah, I heard that too. They went into some house and was filming or something, and somebody saw them.
Yeah. Olivia does not need Bullhorn Betty. Bullhorn Betty probably needs Olivia, though. Olivia is a pretty good, she puts together pretty good documentary style work videos. Olivia's good on her own.
Thank you, NJ Robin. It was George Santos was the guy that I was thinking of, who was revealed to be like a serial liar and got expelled from New York's 3rd Congressional District. I could see his face in my mind, and I could not place his name at all. Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps that she was. She thought that she might be some sort of significant. You know how certain people represent a candidate, you know, in social media or discussions, you know, sort of an informal basis. You see them on the late night shows. Perhaps she was hoping that she might get sort of tapped up to do that in the next political cycle. She's deluded. I don't believe that anybody would suggest her for that sort of situation. But I wonder whether in her own mind she thought that she had a chance at that and that she was going to increase her social media profile on the back of that. It must really stick in her throat that he has created such a huge amount of space between her and him as far as subs go. I mean, he really did. When he was covering the Cavalcanti escaped murderer case, his sub count just flew the nights that he was covering that. And she is very much a much smaller channel now in comparison to him. I don't think she likes it.
No, I don't think she likes it one bit. I think that's probably a whole lot of her problem. Why she's doing all of this. She's very jealous.
I could actually see her side maybe a little bit, in that you work together with another creator for a really long time and you build up, you know, what she would call camaraderie and all these things, and then all of a sudden he takes off and he don't want her anywhere near the scene where he's at. And that's what I seen from an outsider looking at. Like, he wanted nothing to do with her showing up. I forget the case, but she was on her way. She was talking about being local and getting there, and he could not get off his live stream fast enough once he knew she was on the way. And yeah,
I wonder, didn't she, her press credentials came care of the news site that he was running? You remember the news site that was originally the news site that was tweeting about heels, and Zavgirl, that made us wonder what the hell was going on. That news site is where she got her original media accreditation from as a representative of that news site. I wonder if he took it away, because I'm not sure how she'd be able to claim to be a member of the press if she doesn't actually have a connection to a news organization.
In the United States, anybody can be media. That's how she looks at it. And that's I agree with her in that sense. We have freedom of the press. If you're disseminating anything to the public, you can be the press. But she doesn't have, there's a difference between being press and being credentialed press, and
Yes.
having an education, and actually being a journalist. Those are all different things. They have to go by, they have standards. The journalists have standards. She doesn't have to abide by any of them.
Yeah, I mean, I do firmly believe in the ability of the general public to cover news as it breaks, you know, and to investigate things for themselves. I'm not talking necessarily as a criminal aspect. I'm talking about sort of the way that government works, you know, sort of local issues, all that sort of thing. I don't have an issue with that at all. But I'm wondering whether, you know, like JLR was able to get access, as the quote on screen says, to the Alex Murdaugh hearings, and she couldn't get in. And so she does not have that sort of accreditation. I would query why he is considered. I mean, he's making it work now. Don't get me wrong; he's actually doing the work. whatever my personal feelings about him, I wouldn't watch him. But he was actually sort of covering real, legit news stories. And yeah, I'm
Well,
wondering whether
what I
she's.
will say too with that, Pearl, when you go in for these cases, sometimes they'll do like a raffle, like a lottery thing where it could be the member of the public, it could be media. And sometimes they go through their credentials. It's court to court, judge to judge. And I'm sure that they were probably really strict with that case because it was so big. So they probably did go through and look at all the credentials, and they took the people that had them. And even though his is what I would consider a bunk, I mean, it's literally him giving himself credentials pretty much. But
It is. It is.
it is.
But I
same as
imagine that
hers.
he at least made the draw, and she didn't get even get placed in the draw, and that must have really stung, because I think she genuinely considers herself a more legitimate voice than him because of his past. And I mean, you could argue that either way. As I said, I really don't care for either of them, but I do think that she's kidding herself that people take her more seriously. I don't believe that people do.
No, I definitely don't think they do. I mean, if you look at, she's on YouTube. She's what I consider a YouTube creator, right? She gets 100, 200 people in her live streams. You got Burnt Toast over there reviewing her once or twice a week, pulling in 1,000 people. That says a lot. It says a whole lot. And that goes for anybody that reviews her. More people usually show up to her reviews than actually watching her content. So,
Well, I mean, I would say the same for Six Up here. More people watch Six Up reviews of some channels than watch those channels. They will remain nameless, but you all know who I mean.
yeah, JLR just got his 100,000 subs. I don't know how far he is up now. I'll go look actually.
Yeah, you're right, Lenny. I don't see him as credible. I mean, I thought it was interesting that he was right in the sort of thick of the action with the Daniel Cavalcanti case, but I would have thought that about anybody who was right there on the perimeter. And that's where he's got the majority, 110,000 subscribers now. Wow.
I know I'm way more interested in knowing Magnolia now because I didn't
I'm
know
more
anything
interested
about her
now,
till today.
Magnolia.
Yeah.
It's nice that she comes automatically with her own theme song. And once again, I would just like to say that I genuinely do not give a damn how she identifies or in what way. Let the woman live her life. It's nobody's business. And why Betty would choose to sort of make these sort of comments and try to create an atmosphere of needing to find out the truth. If you're not actually in a relationship with somebody, it's none of your business. And the world would be a better place if more people would see that. Yeah, his blank stare to the camera is a bit odd. I mean, that's why he's got that sort of unnaturally smooth face, is the absence of movement. I mean, it's got to be that, or he bathes in tretinoin in cream, and one or the other. Somebody said, does he sleep in a hyperbaric chamber? Which, of course, is the old Michael Jackson joke. But I would say that nothing would put me off sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber more than the connection with Michael Jackson, because, you know, God rest his soul, but it didn't seem to do his health and youth any good, did it? Has everybody disappeared?
You know what? I was just
I'm
looking
here. I'm here.
I was going to get ready to get down, but I was
Yes,
looking
you
at you
got to.
guys, all of your stockings in the back. I noticed that your names are on them. I just seen that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, Six Up is going live straight after us. So please come over and join us at Six Ups. She hasn't told us what the show's about, but it's called Embrace the Suck. So I'm sure it's going to be a fun time.
And I haven't disappeared. It's just that my audio keeps going out, and then I
know,
get worried
darling.
that I'm talking over somebody or something. So it makes me nervous to even speak because I don't want to talk over y'all.
StreamYard need to get their bloody act together. Otherwise, we're going to have to look at an alternative streaming service. Because we need Eliza's input, and it's really frustrating.
And it only does it here. I don't have any other issues any other time, so it's not my equipment. It's StreamYard.
No, we were talking in Discord right before we came up here, and there were no issues whatsoever. And let's face it, Discord can be as buggy as all get out, but there were no issues there in that voice chat. And yet we come on StreamYard, there are issues. I don't understand it.
I know, it's driving me
When you
crazy.
guys do the next one, try that, what I use, the Restream. Just try it one time and see if it's any different or does anything different. Maybe it'll work good. I don't know. That's what I've always used. I don't use StreamYard unless I go on somebody else's panel. So,
Yep, that might be an option for us.
I was thinking, my thought process was that I originally thought that it was a puppy eating the wire issue, but we knew it wasn't that eventually. But Glara's got a new puppy that was eating stuff in the background while he was doing a live.
Good luck.
And it was hilarious. The way that he was speaking to that dog, it was like him and a teenager. He was doing that sort of trying to be the sort of reasonable dad thing, sort of approachable dad. Don't eat that dude. And obviously the puppy didn't give a damn because you know what they're like. But I had noticed a couple of people, I haven't watched the videos, but I noticed that a couple of people were criticizing Clara for rescuing a dog. It's like there is literally nothing you can do in these YouTube streets that somebody won't criticize. And yeah, I mean, just...
Yeah, they said he stole it, all kinds of ridiculous stuff.
I have a criticism.
What is it?
My asshole cat. Every day I came home from work, my tree skirt seems to be in a different room.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the kitchen tonight. So I wanted to tell Jay Marie that the citrus spray does not work for my asshole cat. He likes it. The more I spray, the more he gets under there and sniffs it.
And the Glara's problem with his Christmas tree getting knocked over and everything else is precisely why ours has not been set up. We have not decided, are we going to go with a tabletop one or just put it in a bedroom? Oh, we are not looking forward to the puppy's first Christmas.
Yeah, it's been an adventure because this is the cat's first Christmas.
Of course, Milo would be the cat
that
actually likes the anti-cat spray.
Yeah, yeah, definitely him. He hasn't climbed up in the tree, but he definitely likes the tree skirt and the balls on the bottom. He's gotten those all off. I noticed there's about 6 of them on the floor right now.
Oh, now Linny, as a cat owner, is suggesting peppermint spray. They don't like.
I think he would love that even more than citrus.
I was just going to say, let's face it, if any cat is going to love the peppermint spray, it would be Milo.
Yeah, it would definitely be him.
How about
TJ
water?
had us all really worried when she came in one night, and people have been sharing the fact that they wanted prayers, and TJ said, I need you to pray for me. And we were like, what's wrong, TJ? And she said, my cat's an asshole.
Yeah, he tries to kill us on a daily basis.
Can you use water on him? That's what I do with my cats.
Oh, it doesn't scare him.
Oh, the water bottle doesn't work?
No,
Now, my
nothing
cats
works.
see you
Works on
go
my
for
dog
that.
too.
The only thing that kind of works, and it's only for like 30 seconds, is if you get like a Walmart sack and shake it at him, he'll run away, but not for very long. He'll come right back for it.
You could try an air horn, but they're very they're misery.
Oh, we have one of those.
I hate that noise. I've had to do that for my dog sometimes. Oh, I've got one cat. I just say spray now, and he runs. He's like, yeah, because he tries. They all want to chew on my tree, and he was trying to do what?
I was just say, it looks like the Glera stole this dog from a death sentence. Then, people are weird.
Oh, thank you, Glera, for saving him.
Yeah, we stole our puppy from the animal shelter as well.
Hey, Pinto. Hey, KK.
It's a good place.
Hey, Mama Joe.
If you're looking to steal some pets,
Mama
it's a
Joe,
good
love
place
you.
at the animal shelter. There's a bunch there, and they don't even mind if you go in and tell them you want one.
Won't let me go there. He says, you end up crying, then you want all of them. And I'm like, I know. It's so hard. They look at
you know,
in
even
faces.
for, oops, sorry, Bugsy.
No, you're fine.
It's the delay, I think. You know, my husband and I served on the Humane Society board in our town for a long, long time. Even if you don't want to adopt an animal, maybe you can't, you know, where you live or whatever, you can go to the shelters and play with the animals, the cats, the puppies. They really need a lot of social, you know, a lot of social training to get them ready for their homes. And the shelter really does like that. You can even volunteer to go and walk the dogs. They like that too.
DJ, thank you.
And at Christmas time, they really do need extra food, extra cleaning supplies. And a lot of times people don't think, but if you replace your towels, your washcloths, things like that, take your old ones to the shelter. They
Also
use
blankets.
so many of those.
They can use blankets
for cleaning.
For them. They love to have blankets.
Yes, blankets, even little stuffed animals.
Yes.
That they use for the puppies.
Great
and
idea.
The kittens. A lot of times they'll put them with the litters, and then when you adopt a puppy, then you'll take one of them home with you, and it has their sibling's smell on it, and that usually helps them adjust to their new home. But at Christmas time, they really do need lots of extras. And if you're going to donate to for animals, please try to do it in your local shelters.
Exactly.
Keep the money local. If you donate to these big organizations, you're paying salaries. That's what you're doing. So the money really needs to stay in your local areas.
I know what Eliza's going to say.
Or you can hit up Grismo's wish list.
Yes.
And stuff will ship directly from Amazon directly to WisCares, who helps homeless.
Eliza, is it only in one area or is it all over the nation?
Veterinary care, helps with food insecurity, all that kind of stuff. So if you're thinking about donating, Grismo's wish list goes directly to WisCares, and it's a great cause.
Is it, Eliza, is it all over the nation?
No, this one is based in Wisconsin. It's
I
a
wish it
particular
was-
one I selected because
I know.
of-
I appreciate you doing that. I wish it
of
was
the fact
all
that it
over.
helps the homeless too.
I wish we had that in every state. That would be so amazing to help people. See, Robin, I do too. I want to bring them all home, and I hate the faces, but I love the idea of going.
And also,
would be
here is
great.
another piece of information a lot of people may not know. If you call your local shelters, a lot of time they can give you a spay or neuter certificate. And that will sometimes is a low cost spay or neuter to help encourage neutering and spaying your pets. Sometimes they can be as low as $25. So always call your local shelters and ask if they offer that.
I did try that here,
That's a good
and
thing.
they have to have a vet on, how you want to say it, that is free to do it. So for a while there, they didn't have anyone, and I don't get that. I just assumed it was all the time. She said, no, we got to get them when they have time to come in and do it.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get our dogs in there, 2 of them, because they are definitely getting fixed.
Yeah.
Because, well, I won't share that. Never mind.
Bugsy. People know what dogs do.
No, not that. My grandson, he was petting the pup. Well, he's not a pup. He's a year old now. And he hasn't been fixed yet. And he looked at him, he's scratching his belly, and he said, why does he have 2 butts? I was speechless, to say the least, and I didn't know what to tell him. And I
should have said, well, he's just lucky.
So now it's a joke around here always that we call him. I mean, I can't wait to tell the vet about this. He'll get a big kick out of it. But I'm like, yep, we're bringing in 2 butts today. Oh, I just told him for lack of, I wanted to be honest with him, but I was like, I can't say that. And so I said, well, those are his jelly beans. I just was like my granddaughters were laughing because I think they knew what that was. So I was like, okay. Yeah, he's a little, yeah. One of the dogs won't go outside because he's always and she's fixed. It's not like she's not fixed, but she's irritated with him. And I thought, just growl at him and he'll leave you be. Any other time she'd growl at him because she's food aggressive at times.
I think this is the perfect time for a commercial. What do you guys think?
Yes, thank you.
That'd be marvelous.
I think so.
This is a public service announcement on behalf of dogs. The Diploma-Owning Grooming Stylists of America.
Our dogs deserve the best in life: fun, freedom, healthy food, exercise, and great physical care. A pampered pooch is a happy pooch. Just look at those happy faces. But there's a dark reality out there, threatening the happiness of America's dogs, a trap that even the most loving owner can fall into, something that will leave your beloved pets scared to leave their home. Look at Winnie, too ashamed to come out from underneath her blanket, and who can blame her? Every day in America, a loving but misguided owner attempts to groom their own dog. No, we're not talking about essential bathing and brushing. We're talking about owners who look at their scissors and think, how hard can it be? Well, the answer is pretty darn hard. Just look at the evidence. Winnie's owner is a hairdresser. And look what happened. Not all skills are transferable to another species. Here's Winnie with a haircut from a dog's professional, one that didn't leave her hiding under a blanket in shame. Dogs of America and all the dogs of America are begging you to listen to the experts. Put the scissors down and back away from the dog.
Just seemed fitting.
Yes.
Poor
I
Winnie.
love
That's
this.
the same way as Winnie because I can't trim worth poo.
This quote here, I have a whole dog grooming kit. We only used it once. There's a story there. And for anybody who's not in on the joke, that is not some serious thing saying that you can't trim or wash your dog. It's a specific joke about Winnie is a real life dog owned by somebody that we know, and that person is a hairdresser, and unfortunately Winnie did not get the cut that she was expecting to get, and we couldn't resist. Yes, somebody was saying in the Discord chat that you've got some sort of a dog virus, some cough thing going around over there at the moment.
We've been told it's kennel cough, but
Right.
there are natural stuff. You can either get the shot or there's natural stuff as well you can use.
Right,
yeah.
so it's a known problem, but it just is particularly virulent at the
don't know.
moment.
And it's upper respiratory stuff.
Right.
So it might be a little different.
Yeah, they say don't let your dogs drink from community water bowls or anything at dog parks and stuff for now while this is going around. Make sure your pets are up to date on their vaccines.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give mine myself on those on the Bordatello and distemper. Pray for me.
You'll do great.
It's so expensive to pay the vet to do it.
A rabies shot for Milo was $57 for one shot.
Ours isn't that expensive here.
Yes.
$15.25, I think.
$57.
Whoa.
I said, he's an inside cat. He don't go outside.
They don't care.
No.
Preventative care is cheaper than
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
treatment if your pet gets sick, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, Chris, awesome. You can give me. I've only done it once before, and I hated the needles. They were so thick, and I thought I've only used needles that were on my son that were very fine. So I wasn't accustomed to that.
Eliza, what was your trick? What was the thing that you were giving dogs who got an upset stomach? There was.
I was just gonna tell Lip
Right.
Lock, try a couple tablespoons of pumpkin.
Yes.
Pure
Mhm.
pumpkin, not the stuff you put in the pie, but without all the spices and sweets, just pure pumpkin puree. It works wonders for tummy issues, both with difficulty or being too free. It really helps a lot.
It can act as a laxative too if you give them too much.
Right. It seems to, our vet said to do it, and it works both ways.
Right.
With the tummy issues. So
Right.
just a couple tablespoons with their food. And my boxer used to love it. He always considered it a treat to get pumpkin. So it was easy to
Oh my word.
so just a suggestion, and it's a natural kind of thing.
I love
See,
it.
she uses pumpkin puree for the kitties, so she knows what I'm talking about. She probably has some on hand.
I didn't think about cats liking it. Cats like pumpkin.
I think pumpkin is safe for all pets.
Mm-hmm.
Just be careful that it's pure pumpkin and not the pumpkin pie filling. Don't
Right.
confuse the two,
I didn't know
because they
that.
do look similar, and you don't want to give them
I
that other
appreciate
stuff with the sweetness and the
Yeah, all the sugar
spices
and
in
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
And definitely no
Yeah, they-
cream.
Right. No Starbucks, pumpkin spice, anything. Just pure pumpkin out of the can.
Our chickens love pumpkin.
Really?
We gave them the Halloween pumpkins
Oh.
and put them out there in their pen, and they just eat those pumpkins up.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
What
they
ate
love
the pumpkins up? I'm sorry, I
the
missed what you said.
chickens.
Oh, the chickens. Yeah,
Oh
they'll
yeah,
eat a
they
lot of
loved 'em.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they loved it.
Kind of like goats. Goats eat everything.
Yeah, chickens will too, mostly.
Ooh, I'm reading what you did. Sorry, Lenny. I missed it.
Elizabeth Lander had another good tip with the non-fat Greek yogurt. Also is safe for dogs and helps with the tummy. Putting the good bacteria back.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's a good one. Yes, mine go out and eat grass too. I do love the idea of the yogurt, just plain yogurt.
Well, do we want to talk about anything else, or are y'all ready to wrap up? Or
I'm ready to wrap up unless you've got anything pressing, darlings. I said that I would go over to 6 Ups, so I need to grab a drink before I do that.
yeah, so everybody go over to 6 Ups after this. Make sure you sub up and to her. Make sure you like and share us. Thank you all for coming.
Thanks everyone for being here, and we will see you again next week, I guess.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You're embarrassing yourself. Go to bed.
Good night.